Hello, everyone, and welcome to Heads and Dovetails. We've got a full packed episode to get through today, Jamie, haven't we? Whether we get through it or not is another thing. But I'm going to hand over to you because there's one very important announcement we need to make for this podcast. So over to you.
And what was that? I'm only joking. Hi, everybody. We've found somebody that's admitted to listening to all our podcasts. Now, is it shame? Is it no? Alex Holden is a brilliant young lad. I say young lad, he's younger than me.
Well,
And
definitely younger than me.
I've never met him, but I think we followed each other on Instagram because he's a maker. He makes concertinas, which is
Hmm.
squeeze box type things, but he makes. You need to follow him on Instagram. Find him on Instagram. Alex
Yeah.
Holden is great, but he's also got a little Morris Minor Traveller, I think, in his
Oh,
car.
lovely.
And I think that's how he found me. I found him because I've got my little old van, and there was a sort of connection. I think, or Instagram threw us together. I don't know, but Alex, we just want to say thank you for listening. It's great to find somebody that admits that
Listen.
they listen to us because
And
everybody
I,
else, no.
and when I discovered on one of your posts that he said he's listened to every podcast
I
since the
know,
beginning, I was like, oh, I am so pleased somebody's listening and that we
I
get to
know.
know them. So, yes, this podcast really is dedicated to the wonderful Alex Holden for putting up with us and listening to our, I think we call it a friendship podcast these
We are,
days,
aren't we?
Jamie.
Ramblings,
Yeah, so this
friendship
podcast
ramblings.
dedicated to Alex Holden and his concertinas. I must admit, I don't like concertinas in the folk world, but I'm going to be
Well,
really quiet.
well, he's got this one that he's just done that is huge, and it's got. He was pressing the buttons on
I
it the other
saw it.
day. You saw it, and it was just what I think it was about 30
Amazing.
seconds long.
Yeah.
One sort of
Yeah.
that went on for ages, and I was just like, blimey. But the skill and everything he puts into these things is off the scale. Off the
Well,
scale.
obviously,
He
Clive
is.
was involved in the folk circuit many years ago, and it's actually, as this will be going out on Wednesday, it's actually Folk Week down near us in Sidmouth. So,
Oh, okay.
Alex, this podcast is for you, whether you like it or not. Okay,
Right.
Jamie, right.
Yes. Let's go.
Let's go. I want to talk about bedding and sheets in particular.
Oh,
So, this has come about because I was staying at my sister's and I have stayed at other people's places, and I have this discussion quite a lot with various people. So, first of all, well, there's a couple of things. One, if you have a quilt, do you have a top sheet as well? Do you have a top sheet on your bed as well as a quilt on top of that? Or do you just have a quilt?
no, and I don't know why. I will ask the wife.
What, you don't have a top sheet, you just have a quilt.
Just the quilt, yeah.
Right.
But when you think about it, it does make sense.
What, just to
Uh,
have the quilt or the top sheet? I'm
no, to have a
confused.
top sheet as well.
Right. For me, people are going to think I'm really odd here. I like a
Yes.
top sheet because sometimes I want to throw the quilt off, but I always like something on top of me.
Okay.
And without being rude, I mean a sheet. And I also like to tuck things in. So there's something, maybe it's from when I was a baby and liked to be wrapped up, or when we had blankets and mum used to really tuck us in. The days of blankets, do you remember those? Uh,
Yes.
and I very much like, particularly my legs and my feet, I don't like them sticking out the end. I like a top sheet to be tucked in so everything stays wrapped up. So when Clive nicks the quilt, I'm not left, you know,
Oh, okay.
with feet and whatever exposed. So that's my reason for having a top sheet. And also, I don't know, maybe it's different things, but I think if you sweat, it's easier to, and I'll admit I don't change the quilt cover as often as I change the sheets.
Does make that easier, doesn't it?
Yes, so I change the
Okay.
sheets. Say I change the sheets once a week, then I change the quilt cover once every 2 weeks. So when the sheets go in,
Right. Okay.
I then change it. So there you go. Point number one, do you have a top sheet? I know a lot of people that I go to stay with, often they don't. Even in
Yeah.
B&Bs, they often don't.
Yeah.
And that's when I go, I've got nothing to tuck in. I really want to be tucked in, particularly in the winter. So I like to be nice and tight and all tucked in. And the other thing is, do you iron your sheets? there's the next big question.
Are you asking me?
Well, you
Are
might
you
not
asking
iron
me?
them personally, but do you prefer, let's put it this way then, do you prefer
Oh,
to be in a bed with
yes.
nice, clean, crisp,
Oh,
ironed
yes.
sheets?
Oh, I really, really, really do prefer it. Does it happen?
Jamie's shaking his head there. Well,
Well,
you
it's just,
see, there's for me, I like an iron sheet. Now,
yeah.
there,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't, and I am the sort of friend who's very thoughtful. If we're only going to stay with somebody for one night, then I will take our own sheets. So what I will tend to do is take them off our bed, put clean sheets on our bed, take our sheets with us, use them for the one night, bring them back, put them in the wash. And that's for two reasons, because I think it's quite a lot really for somebody else. You stay with a
Yes.
person for one night and you've got two double sheets, you've got a couple of big, towels to wash. I always put four pillows on the bed, so then there's four pillowcases as well, whether it's one person or two, that needs to be washed. And the other reason I admit is because I like my iron sheets. So there's there's ironed and not ironed and really not ironed. So there's categories. I'm getting
You
obsessed here,
see,
aren't I, Jamie?
you're getting into this thing, you see. And you see, right, okay. So anybody who's followed us, like Alex, will know we've got four girls, right? So changing bedding and all sorts here over
Mm.
the years has been no, you could stand there at the ironing board all day doing all the bits and pieces with everything else. And and then it's drying it. It isn't just it's drying it as well. And in a full household, drying things, and then if it doesn't dry that day because you've had rain or whatever, it goes on. And so I'm sitting here now and I've got a shirt on that they don't get ironed. And I would, in a way, I would like somebody to
They're
iron
not
my
you.
sorry. Well, I would like somebody. Well, here we go. I'd like somebody to iron my shirt, but it's more me that they're not iron. It's
Right.
more me. It's casual, more casual. It's a little bit creased, a bit like my head. Um, it's
Ah, well, there
it's
you go, you see.
it suits me.
Yeah.
It suits me, and I really don't mind. As well as that, there is the thing where I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm poor. Maybe being a poor person means that we don't iron as I don't iron as much because I don't know. Maybe I think if everything I wore was ironed, I don't think I'd be the person I am
Ah,
because part of me would also think, hang on, you're wasting time ironing that shirt that you're going to wear for a day, and it's just hang on, I say, and you're going to wear it outside of the garden. You might go to work in it. You're going to do this, then you're going to come home and put it in the wash, and almost why iron it if you're going to do all those things? So I
right.
think it makes me more casual. Well, you don't like this at all, do you?
No, because I'm the complete opposite. When Clive first met me,
Are
I
you?
would iron underwear.
What?
Yeah, and fold them up neatly. I've got, there you go. Here we go. It's
How many
all
hours do you have in your
confession.
day?
Uh,
How many hours do you have in your
I
day?
have, I'm the person that loves ironing. All right. I will stand and iron
Oh,
endlessly. Because for me, I either put, we are very lucky we've got a jukebox, so I either put the jukebox on. For me, it's going to sound bizarre. It's my downtime, it's my thinking time, it's my meditation type time. Because to me, I'm standing and I'm ironing, so I don't have to think about what I'm doing particularly. I'm just ironing. So
yeah.
yeah, I iron everything. I don't, for me to put something on that's not ironed just does not feel right. I
Oh,
would not feel right putting something on that's
well, that's
not
good,
ironed.
and actually that suits you and where you've come
Absolutely.
from, your corporate work, your airline work, all of that. It really does suit it. Whereas
Yeah.
I've got a workshop
Well,
where,
I'm often in the workshop, but I still iron my painted trousers and
yeah, I
my
get it,
painted t-shirt because I
but
feel
but
better for doing that. I feel more organized. I feel more ready. Isn't it funny?
yes, okay, okay. So another admission, I'm still enjoying washing up.
Well,
I
there
think
you
I've
go.
mentioned it twice on the last two previous podcasts. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's control. I don't know whether it's meditation. Maybe it's control. Maybe because I don't like coming home to when I've finished work at sort of 8ish, half whatever, half past on a night, to come home to see a pile of washing up while people are sitting around or whatever just feels sort of wrong. So, and maybe I'm sorry, just looking around so nobody can hear me. Maybe I'm trying to get it into the girls that by doing frequent washing up so that it doesn't end up one great big pile. I know you've got a dishwasher, Jill. This is different. This is a different world over here. Okay.
We
Um,
didn't used to have a dishwasher, but
oh, Gill.
they've come with the house. No, we used to have a tiny little galley kitchen, and the fridge freezer used to be in the back porch as you walk through to the bathroom and the toilet in our old
Oh,
Edwardian house. So there you
well,
go.
there you go. But yes, I'm still enjoying it, and I think I oh, it's like a confession, isn't it? I think I did it about 4 times the other day, and I just thought. But what I'm finding is I'm filling the time within the kitchen of either waiting for something. While I'm waiting for something, I'll dry up. While I'm going about to do something, oh well, while that's warming up, I'll just wash up. And it's that sort of thing that's filling the time. I'm, and we know, don't we? We do know that
Hmm.
it's come out now that chores are a good basis for a good
And for
person.
kids, yeah.
But yeah, so maybe I'm trying to be a better person by doing more chores. I know what it does mean. I'm spending less time outside in the garden and less time doing my brick
Well,
wall out front.
there could be an
But
argument that says, yeah, but you're wasting then washing up liquid and water by washing so frequently. Don't get me wrong, I also wash up if I've been busy
yes,
cooking and baking and I've got pots and
yes,
pans and I've used the lemon squeezer and I've used the grater and I've done this and I've done that because I'm doing a whole load of baking, then I will wash a lot of that up by hand because I like it
yeah,
out the way. Otherwise, big stuff takes up so much room
it does.
in the dishwasher.
Yeah.
But back to the sheets.
Okay,
So
go
we're
on.
going to go back into our nested loop and come back to the sheets in that, yes, there's obviously I love to iron my sheets. Then there are people where you can wash and if you can hang them or spread them out, then it's not too creased, if you know what
Yes,
I mean. So you can put them outside and they
we do
dry
that
nicely on the line, so they're not too
naturally.
creased. They're naturally, absolutely.
Makes all the
And
difference.
then there are the ones like I had to sleep in last week, which was at my sister's house. She was moving house. I was up there. She'd gone to stay elsewhere for the night. And oh, good God, I couldn't sleep. I said to her, if I could have found where we packed your iron, I'd have been unpacking it and ironing your sheet so I could get some sleep. She has a carer at the moment, and I think what happened is the carer had obviously put both sheets in to and everything rammed in. You know what it's like when you ram it into the washing machine, and had obviously done it on a hot wash. Had then put the dry on without shaking it
Yeah.
out or anything, and taken the sheets out and put them on the bed. Well, the only analogy I could give while I was in there, it was like sleeping on the old crinkled up Quality Street papers, is how it felt like
Wow.
to me. And I was just like, how do you sleep in this? And my sister
Mm,
sometimes says she doesn't get a good night's sleep. So I've said to her, I can see why you don't get a good night's sleep.
yeah.
I really struggled. So there you go, another little obsession. Do you have a top sheet? Don't you have a top sheet? Luckily, she did. So that was all right. So obviously, and then I checked with my middle sister the next morning. Do you have top sheets on your bed? Oh, God, yes. I have to have a top sheet and tuck it in. Now, whether that again is we've all been brought up, obviously, in the same family in the era where we didn't even know what a quilt was. I remember when I first went to Switzerland skiing with the school, and we all walked in, 6 of us sharing a room on the school trip, and we all walked in and just saw these white, like pillow-like things folded up on the end of the bed, thinking, well, where are the sheets and the blankets? So because you didn't travel much then, it sounds really odd now, doesn't it?
I
But
know.
thinking, what is this on the end of the bed and what are you meant to do with it?
Yeah.
And that was the first time I came across quilts
Yeah.
and really understood what they were. And of course, then we were talking about naturally drying sheets. I don't know if you're quite old enough, you might be, Jamie, I don't know, to remember
No.
nylon sheets and nylon sheets.
No.
Exactly. Oh, there was this big company, if I could remember the name of it. It was a big company and you can order them, and everybody was buying nylon. We had nylon school shirts, which obviously were just awful because they were easy, and that's how they promoted. You just wash and dry and it's done, not a problem. And obviously, again, like you, when three of us at home, plus mum at work, washing and ironing all our school shirts each week. It was a line full of shirts. Oh no, it was a big company. Can't remember the name. Somebody might be able
Was it
to at the moment.
DuPont?
No, it
Was it
wasn't
something to do with
DuPont.
DuPont?
No, and they were based, I think, up your way, sort of Staffordshire, big factory, Bry nylon, and you could get Bry nylon kind of brushed nylon sheets for the winter, so you could get into that. Or there was just pure nylon sheets, and my mum had pink ones and blue ones that fitted. First time we'd ever had fitted sheets on the mattress, so you put that on and then you had a nylon sheet on top and a nylon pillowcase. And
Right.
I think this is when nylon really came into its own. So I'm not that ancient, listeners. Honestly, I'm not that ancient. Um, and we used to sleep in those. And now I think, how on
Was it
earth?
hot?
Yes. And you think you must have sweated. But I suppose in the
Nice.
winter, and they were freezing cold in the winter. But then you had the brush nylon ones then in the winter that you could climb into bed. And everybody at school, we all were wearing the white nylon shirts.
Yeah.
It was the thing. I wish I could remember the name of the company off the top of my head, but yeah, it was a massive company and everybody was buying it and promoted everywhere and in every catalogue. Remember the days where you used to get a catalogue? You couldn't wait for the Grattan's catalogue or the Littlewoods catalogue to arrive, so you could leaf through it and choose your clothes and tell mum what you wanted. And you know,
Yeah.
anyway, there you go. I digress completely. But yes, interesting point that I just wanted to know sheets. That's it.
There you
I'm
go.
done. Sheets. But washing up, as you said again,
It's
it's
I'm enjoying. I think I've got it. So what this is partly your fault. It's
oh,
partly your
thank
fault.
you.
You're welcome.
What am I being blamed for
Um,
now?
it's partly your fault. I've told myself that it's good for me. I've told myself it's good for my hands after working with my hands all day
Yeah.
to put my hands in there in hot water. And actually, it isn't really you. It just makes sense that warm water, hot water is good for
Mm.
us. It's good for flexibility in these old pinkies of mine. Um, and I'm doing really well. I just want to mention as well, I'm 5.5 years off medication. And
Wow.
yeah, and I found out the piece of sheet of paper the other day because I'm doing some tidying up downstairs, and I found out the sheet of paper which I've put in my bag, which I sort of carry around with me sometimes, which actually basically says that there is no evidence of arthritis and all sorts on it, which
Wow.
is for me. I I looked at it and thought, because I was going through one of those, I'm throwing this away, I'm keeping this, and I
Yeah.
looked at it and thought, no, I'm keeping this because it is sort of it's a milestone. It's and also on there it's got their address at the hospital and the number if an emergency happens or whatever. Um, but it just says there is no trace of arthritis in when they're
Mm.
on physical going through the joints and they feel all your joints and there's no little spurs sticking off any of the joints. There's no lumps and bumps on my hands. There's no evidence of it in my blood and other things that they do. And it's I just think it's pretty remarkable, really. That I don't think it's remarkable. Oh, it's good that I've done it. I've told myself a different story, which you know all about that sort of thing.
Mm.
And I just said, years ago, this isn't really arthritis. This is the medical people putting a name to something that it might be similar to, whatever. They gave
Mm.
me medication for a long time, 13 years I was on it. Um, and I just believe that it was stress, it was this
Mm.
autoimmune, and I'd got this thing in my head, which I still sort of believe as well. One of my sort of, it's like almost like a core belief now. If you didn't come into the world with something and it happened through stress,
Mm.
whatever it is, then if you can de-stress, manage NLP, whatever, talk your way out of it For me, it works.
Mm.
So for me, it's worked. Um, so I found that piece of paper the other day and I put that in. The other thing I want to quickly mention, how are we doing for time, Jill?
Oh gosh, we're keeping close. We're coming up for 20 minutes, Jamie. So we've got
Oh,
10 minutes.
wow. Okay. So this is brilliant. 10 minutes extra. You're getting a bonus 10 minutes here,
Did
even
you
though
think
it's
we'd
within
been
the
going
time.
on even longer then?
I
Was it
did.
that boring? We haven't been that boring
No,
about my
no, no.
sheets.
It just feels like we've been talking about sheets and irons and washing up for the last half an hour. I've got to say, you're out and about with your walks.
Yeah.
Are you seeing much fruit on trees? And is it unusual? Are you
Uh,
seeing any of
I'm
that?
thinking it seems as it's so dry. I've been seeing a lot of apples. Now, some
Right.
apple trees, like in our garden, our little apple tree is absolutely laden down with
Yeah.
apples. Then we've had a tree in the garden, in the back garden, that I just thought was a tree. And then suddenly this year, I think I did some posts about it. I was
Oh,
looking
you
up
did.
thinking, what's all that yellow? Is that cherries or something? And we've got an apricot tree. And
Apricot.
it's the first year it's given us loads of apricots. I mean, not
Right.
tons, but loads of apricots. Blackberries, some blackberries seem really small, some seem quite large. But yes, when I am out on my walk, I'm seeing a lot more kind of, well, I saw an apple tree I hadn't noticed on the common before. And obviously I walk a very,
Yes.
and it's absolutely, I mean, the weight of the fruit on it
Yes.
is enormous. And yet no rain. We still had no rain down here.
Well, that's the thing. You're probably 3 hours drive south from me.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, you're 3 hours south from me. In the Midlands, we've had a bit of rain. We've done all right. There's an area not too far from where we live where I walk the dog, and this area has never really shown any sign of berries. It has a bit, not much, really hasn't. This area I've now found has something like 25 or so, maybe 30 bushes. They're all, pretty much all of them are fruiting right now. It's
Wow.
gone crazy. The sloes are ready, even though we're miles away from the nearest first frost. The sloes are almost ready. There's Bullaces up there. There's Mirabella plums. I don't know whether they're wild Mirabella or which are basically French plums. Very small, bit bigger than a
Hmm.
grape, yellow. Oh, beautiful. And they're ready for. They are fully laden. And if what I've found, in fact, I've done it, it's going to be on my next video, which I think will be coming out Sunday evening. Fully laden so much as when you put your hand and you sort of hold a few and just sort of tap them as you're bringing your hand down, you're hardly touching them.
And they're
They're
coming off.
dropping off in your hands, and they're beautiful. So I went the other day and I think we got about 6 kilos,
Wow.
and because I'm thinking I won't be doing slows this year because I think something will go wrong with the slows now. I think because they've peaked now and we're miles away from the frost, maybe.
When should
But
sloes be picked then?
normally it's the October half term. It's normally,
Right.
yeah, middle of October is a good time to pick them.
I'm very careful. I
Um,
wouldn't know what they were. I see berries and I think, are they sloes? Are they elderberries? Am I going
well,
to poison Clive and I?
the best thing to do, Jill, is just pick one and bite into it. I should,
Thanks.
don't do that. No, honestly, well, you'll know. I mean, this is an area where they planted all these trees all those years ago, and they are just doing absolutely brilliantly this year.
Mm.
They're getting all the moisture. They're in a little bit of a sun trap, and they're absolutely. So I'm going to be doing lots of different gins.
Okay.
I'm going to do a Bullis gin, a Mirabella yellow gin. I'm going to do a. There's other plums, and they're
Could you do a vodka? I'm not a gin drinker.
yes, yeah. Well, that's where you start, isn't it? If you want to do your own, yeah, do a vodka.
Yeah, start with a vodka. I used to like gin, and then I think I overdid it many years ago when I was flying, and oh, even the smell of gin makes me go, oh.
Does it?
Now, isn't it funny? I have overdone it with vodka in the past quite a few times, but I've not been put off vodka. Let's put it that
Okay.
way. So, but yeah, the fruit, as you're saying, and it was funny. Clive mentioned to one of, or posted, had done my post on Instagram, and a friend of his said, "This is really funny because my daughter, who's lived in a house, didn't realize she had an apricot tree, and this year the same. is the first year they've had
Yeah.
lots and lots of apricots. And then somebody else told me the problem is with apricots, the blossom is quite, and I think maybe this is what's happened to our trees that are standing in the front garden, so unprotected, young trees, we only put them in a couple of years ago. They did seem to have a lot of blossom, but they haven't got a lot of fruit. But the apple
Okay.
tree up against the wall that I'm training along the wall, that's the
Espalier,
one.
yes.
Yes, thank you. I always want to say espadrilles, but I know that they're shoes. The one that it's I'm training it along the wall after I found it as
Yeah.
a twig under the ivy. That's laden, and it was when somebody on Instagram said to me, oh, they found that yeah, there was a lot of blossom, but did we have a lot of wind? And we had a very, very windy period back then.
Right.
And she
Okay.
said what happens is the blossom gets blown off the tree before the fruit can set, before it's
Right.
pollinated.
There you go.
So she said that probably explains why you're two. I think I've got two Bramley apples on my Bramley apple tree, and I've
Oh,
got I think about one on my which had given me loads last year. I've got one on the other apple tree that
well,
we planted because we've got three apple trees. So
well,
I've seen the other.
going back to these trees, Jill, it's crazy because I walked the dog the one day after it had rained, and I was walking up this path, and there was this bright yellow grape on the path in front of me. I looked at it, and I sort of cleaned it off a bit, and it's got a nice skin to it. It was like a grape sort of skin, but a little bit maybe less polished.
Mm,
And I looked at it and thought, where the blooming heck's that come from? And I turned my head to look at this tree, and I was just like, oh my life, the fruit was
mm.
like with the fruit, the color of the tree was is something like 70% the fruit color, not the leaf.
Wow,
That's
wow.
how laden they are. And then they're on a bank, they're on a slight incline. And because we'd had that rain, every little, how the grass sort of naturally
Mm,
has little steps going up it.
mm.
Each one of those, you know what it looks like when it snows down a hill and you see
Yes,
those little pockets of snow as it's
and
melting, full of yellow, full of
wow,
yellow. And I was treading on them. And I was
wow.
thinking, this is crazy. And I picked another one up
Mm.
off the floor and I rubbed it a bit. But these are quite high up. So they're about 8 foot up. So they're not easy to reach the branch. Oh, and then I did something that you'd laughed at. I took my mum up there. We took a sheet and I took Lucy up there as well.
And
We laid a
shook.
sheet out. Yeah, because that's the best way. But don't
Yeah,
pick them off the tree because you don't know whether you're picking the one that's ready.
yeah.
If you give the
Give them a
tree a
shake.
shake, the right ones will drop. Right. So I did that. So I put the sheet out and they're watching and I shake the tree and they fall off the branch next to where I'd got the not onto it. Totally missed. Totally missed. I was just like, oh. So I had to move it over, do it again. But it's I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I think we'll be all right. I think the birds are obviously having a great time now. Oh, the other thing I've spotted, we've got so many rooks around.
Mm.
Do you have rooks around down by
We
you?
have we have rooks with us. Normally they're in the big oak tree and they're really
Yes.
noisy sort of April, May time. They
Yeah.
haven't been there this year. Now,
Well,
whether
we've
that's
got them.
because we had a load of work going on, so it was too noisy for them
Um,
to roost, I don't
yeah.
know. But we've commented how we haven't got the number of rooks that we normally have. So
Well,
that's
that's
interesting. But the birds are having a great time.
yes. Well, I
So
think that's what's going to happen now. Well, I think that's probably what's going on because the rooks tend to go to the top of the bigger trees. But
absolutely.
they must be having some of this fruit. I mean, it's
So what are you planning to make apart from your gins? Are you with the plums?
gin, gin,
So just gin, 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 and gin.
gin. I've put,
Well, I,
I've put,
you
yeah,
know, we
gin.
had loads of strawberries again this year. My strawberry patch just
Yes,
gives us tons. So I'd made some jam, and I know my hairdresser friend up in Surrey, she loves strawberry jam, strawberry and vanilla. So I took her a pot with me and said, there
yeah,
you go, here's a pot. And she did a swap talking about plums. She said, we've so many plums. She'd been out on the road picking them, same as you, in the
yeah,
hedgerow, and
yeah.
she'd made plum chutney. So we did a lovely
Oh,
exchange of
nice.
a jar of jam for a jar of plum chutney. But she said, don't, give it 2 or 3 months to really mature. So it'll be about ready for having at
Christmas,
Christmas. And she said
Christmas.
she
Yeah,
would normally make damson, but damson has obviously gone out of fashion. And when we lived in Belper, we had two huge damson trees. And we used to have it damsons by the bucket load. but you just don't see them now. So
Well, I mean, they're still around for us. We still see we've got plenty of damsons there. I think their season has sort of passed now.
yeah,
I think we've missed the
but in
damsons
terms of a
now.
fashionable
But
tree to plant,
yeah,
don't
yeah.
seem to see
Well,
them. So. But anyway, lots of fruit to keep us going, and we'll have the orchard. We've got the village orchard, of course, which is a community orchard. So we'll be going along there to pick my apples and
oh,
stew a lot of
good,
apples and apple crumble, and go with the blackberries that I've still got left over from last year that I'm working my way through. But there you go, Jamie. We're just about finished.
wonderful.
So we've gone from going to give Alex another mention for saying, well
Yes,
done, Alex, and please follow him and see the wonderful work that he does with concertinas. So that's Alex Holden. And then we've gone from sheets and ironing and washing up all the way through to picking fruit when we're out on a walk. And I will be out for my walk tomorrow just to see how much of the pond has remaining, because we've had
yeah.
zero rain. There you
Oh,
go.
okay.
But thank you to everybody, plus Alex, of course, for listening. And I hope you enjoy the fun and games that we have. We've got a couple of other things I want to talk about next time, Jamie, which was a post that you did today. But thank you for
Oh, yeah,
listening. Please subscribe. If you'd like to join in with us, do. If you are a maker, somebody like that running a business and are listening, let us know and we will give you a shout out. Would you
yeah,
agree, Jamie? If you're a
yes,
corporate and you can afford to pay us, that's even better.
yes. Buy us a coffee.
Yeah. Okay, you take care. Great to catch up with you and speak to you again in a couple of weeks, Jamie.
Thanks, Jill. Bye, bye, everybody.
Bye.